At 16, I essentially emancipated myself, and I spent all of my high school years either in state care or sleeping on someone's couch or homeless. It was like even when I was sleeping behind garbage cans, I would show up to school every day because it was the one place where there was consistency. And then in my senior year, I dropped out of high school. I had this kind of defining moment where I was standing in the schoolyard, and I had like this moment of grief. I was never gonna be the girl that I dreamed of being. I was never gonna be that girl. My name is Carolyn, and I'm from Seattle, Washington. I have struggled with drugs and alcohol for about 35 years. As many years as I've been struggling with drugs and alcohol is as many times as I've been to jail. I started getting incarcerated when I was a juvenile, and I did my last of 2 penitentiary stays when I was 45. I thought that the best years of my life were behind me. I had no idea that they were in front of me. I have a significant history with trauma in the form of domestic violence, which was something that we watched in the household a lot. My mother's alcoholism led us into state care. My mother's alcoholism meant that we had to create ways in which to care for ourselves in the world. And so, I mean, that was probably the very first appeal about drugs and alcohol to me, is that life seemed so intolerable. And all of a sudden it was just okay. I spent a lot of my life perceiving the world as a threat. And as a result of that, I was constantly at war with everything I came in contact with. And it looks different when you look at the world as though it is being given to you as a gift, because it makes the opportunities this thing to grow by instead of hide from. I was going to jail a lot for assault, putting hands on people and blackouts, drug charges, prostitution, theft, you name it. And that cycle happened all the way up until I walked into the penitentiary for the last time at 45. I came from a place where I spent decades in despair. I'll cry thinking about it. It was this process of looking at maybe there's something else going on that I can't see. It was the first time that I'd ever taken ownership. I spent a pretty significant period of time doing writing and inventories and those kinds of things. I work with accountability groups, and I'm strongly supported in my recovery life with mentors and women's groups. One of the most helpful things was in the beginning was picking a person to trust. When they said that they cared, I chose to believe them. I mean, the first time I started hearing people share their stories about who they were, at first I was aghast because I didn't know that people said that stuff out loud. But these people that I was in recovery with, these strangers, they go, "Oh, we love you. You have value." And I could hear them. I remember someone asking me early in recovery, what my favorite color was, and I burst into tears because I had no idea what my favorite color was. I've experienced many challenges in my sobriety. I've got dozens of clean dates. And this one seems to have taken. One of the significant gifts that I've been given was an opportunity to come in to Weld Seattle as their community navigator for their women's housing program. There is restoration, this building new relationship with my children. It's that I get to be a daughter to my father and a granddaughter to my grandmother. I've got a lot of forgiveness for my mom. I know absolutely today, having been a parent in active addiction, what it looks like to try to parent children in active addiction. And what I didn't have the understanding for as a child, I've gained as an adult. I was sharing with a friend of mine, I got a felony conviction when I was 18 years old. And this year, at 50 years old, was the first time in my adult life that I've been granted the access to vote in the country in which I live. There is meaning and purpose in not giving up 5 minutes before the miracle.